In this video, we will see how to move data from web to Azure SQL. To move data from web to Azure SQL, we basically need three services to be enabled first. First of all, we need to create Azure Data Factory that we have already created here, SKP Data Factory demo. Second one, we need the web details from where we are going to get the data. So this is the dummy json.com, and we are going to copy product table from there. And the second one is the destination where data is going to be stored. So this is Azure SQL. So we have already created Azure SQL here, SKP database. So we will use these three services to copy data from web to Azure SQL. So going to first of all create pipeline. To create the pipeline, this is the data factory, and we'll create on the Launch Studio. And we are going to create a new pipeline. To create the new pipeline, we will create on author, and here we have seen in the previous video how to create the pipeline. So we'll click here, click on the new pipeline here, and as we have to copy the data from web to Azure SQL, so we need a copy activity. Before using the copy activity, we need to just rename the pipeline. Like this is showing as a pipeline 1. So to make it a more sensible naming, I will just put it like web to SQL. And once I will click on this property icon here, this will disappear, and now this is the pipeline name. So again, we no need of this pan, so I will just collapse this pan, and I'm going to use copy activity to copy data from web to SQL. So copy activity is generally under the move and transform section. So we'll use this copy activity here. I have just drag and drop here. So as you know, in the previous video, copy activity, always we need to provide these two important information like source and sink. So in this activity, source is like web. So we'll click on the source, and we will create a data set first. So as we don't have any data set, we will create the first data set here and click on the new. As we have to copy data from web, so we have to search here REST. So this data set we have to use because we are going to use REST API to read the data from web. So we are using this REST and continue. So we are creating data set. So I am just keeping its name like dataset ds source web, and we are going to create a new link services. So click on this link services. I'm just noting down as a ls link services, creating for source web. This is this will be auto resolver only. As you know that there are three types of integration runtime: auto resolver, self-hosted, and Azure SSIS. So here we are going to use auto resolver integration runtime to copy from web. Base URL is what? This is the location from where we have to copy the data. So this is the location from where we are going to copy the data. So I'm just going to open this website first and we'll show you what is that one. So this is the dummy JSON. So for practice we are going to use this one, and from this website we are going to use this product table. So as soon as I will click on this product, it will open this complete data. So if you'll see, this is the record 1, and similarly it is containing multiple record in the JSON format. So we have to read this data from here, and we have to store the same data into the Azure SQL. So this is the path which I'm going to use here as a base URL in our pipeline. So I'm just putting it here as it is, dummyjson.com/products. Authentication type, I will keep the first one. This will not ask for user ID and password. If you keep any one else like basic and this all service principal, anyone, you need user ID and password. Although we don't have user ID password and we are using dummy JSON just for training purpose, so we will use the first one. And rest everything will be same. Nothing is required to be changed here. We'll just click on the test connection. So connection successfully, we can see here. We'll just click on the create button and I think we are done. In advance we don't need to provide anything here, so just click on the OK. So our source is like up to date now and no need to change anything here, just leave as it is default. Go to the sync, and sync, as you know that we are going to use Azure SQL. So I have already created Azure SQL. If you don't know how to create Azure SQL, you can just look at my previous video. We have shown there how to create the Azure SQL. I will directly go to Azure SQL here. So I have already created SKP database, and this database is under SKP server. So I'm going to use this same database in my pipeline to store the data. So first of all, I need to create a data set for SQL. So I will click on this plus sign, plus new, and we have to create a data set for Azure SQL. So I'm just typing SQL. So Azure SQL database is here. I'm going to click on this one. Click on continue. DS underscore sync, because we are creating for sync, and SQL. We are going to create a new link services for Azure SQL. So ls sync SQL. This is online service, so cloud services. So we'll use auto resolver integration runtime only. Subscription would be free, and server name would be like SKP server, and database we had only one database like SKP database. Authentication would be always SQL authentication. Username is like you can check username here. So this is username, and password is what you have to mention what is set for this user ID. So I have just entered the password, which is for this SKP admin. We'll click on this test connection. Connection successful. I will click on create. So now here we have created a data set, link services. Now it's turn to provide the table name which will store the data which is coming from web. But as you know that we don't have any table here. Let me log in here. So under the table, if you will see here, we don't have anything, but we need one table that will store the data which is coming from this web. So in that case, there are two options. Either you create table first in SQL for all these columns like ID, title, okay, description, and so on. This is the first way. If you don't want to create the table, you want that ADF will automatically create, then you can also do it like this way. You have to just click on this enter manually. Enter schema name is like DBO is the default schema, and table name is, I just want to put it like product table, product table. Okay, as soon as I will click on OK, it will throw an error. I will show you why it will throw an error. So it will mention that there is no schema. See, schema import failed, because schema, this table has not created yet in SQL. This if you'll see here, this table is not existing, so obviously schema will be also not available. In that case, for as of now, we can click on this none, and then we can do it okay. So if you'll see here, sync is like done, but we have just mentioned the table dbu.product, but we have not created any product table here. So how it will work? We will have to select another option here, this table option. We will have to click on this auto create table. This will create an automatic table. That table name would be like dbu.product. So this will create table for you. So these two option is the mandatory for this copy activity. The third one is like mapping. So as soon as I will go to mapping section here, I need to click on this import. So as soon as you will click on the import, you will see that sync side column name is coming correctly, but source side is not coming correctly. So to fix it, just go to collection reference, this collection reference, and we have just selected product table. So click on the product and do this import schema one more time. So if you look at this time we have a proper ID, title. This is matching now. Okay. Next is like few column is like useless for us. We should not store like this information, total, skip, limit. So we are just going to delete it. Limit I have deleted, skip I have deleted, total, and this image along with the thumbnail. So we are going to keep this only column, ID, title, description, price until category. If you will see, source is like intact with the column type, but destination is not, column type is not given here. So we can go and select all the column type like int64. So integer 64 we have to select it here like this way. String, so just type string, string is there. Third one is again string int64, this one, and double is this one, again double, int64, string is like again string, and this is also string. So all done. Now after doing this, if you are going to click on import schema, again you have to do all this activity and deleting all the last five column. So once you are done with this filling, don't do by mistake on import schema, otherwise you have to do it again. Once it is done, we are good to go. We can directly click on this publish all. This will save all the changes we have done till date. So you can see publishing completed. So it has been saved now. If I will go to SQL again, I will refresh it. I can't see any table. Okay. Now I'm going to run the pipeline. Before running the pipeline, I would like to show you source. This is the source which we have connected through this website, this product table. But I want to show you how it will look like in the source preview. So as soon as you will come to source and if you will click on the preview, it will show the data, the same data which you are looking at this page, but bit formatted here. So this is a complete one record, or you can say one row only, and this is the second row, this is the third record, fourth record, like this. Okay, so this is something you can check if your connection is successful or not. Sync we have done, mapping we have done. Now we are going to run the debug. Here when you are running the debug through debug, you can see here input is there here. Once it is run completely successfully, then you will get another arrow here that will show the output. So if you click here, this is showing as input. See, it's popping up input. Let me refresh it here from. So it is succeed. Now you can see two arrows. One is for input, second one is for output. If you want to see output, you can click here. If your pipeline ran successfully and number of record written, everything is like copy, record, row copied, so everything is coming here. If you get error, you have to come here only to see what error is this. So our pipeline has executed, but to ensure that the data has moved from web to our SQL, we have to move to SQL again. Again, table is having nothing here. Just click on the refresh button here, and I will click on this expansion. I can see DBO product is there, right? To see the data here, we'll just write a query here. Select start from DBO product, and I will execute it, and we can see the data in our table. See, same data which is there in the web, now it is stored in the SQL. So in this video we have seen how to move a data from web to Azure SQL. We'll meet in the next video with a new example. Thanks. In this video we will see how to move a JSON file from ADLS to Azure SQL. To perform this task, we need to create 3 services first. First is like Azure Data Lake, that is the source of the data JSON file, and the second one is the Azure Data Factory that will transfer JSON file from Data Lake to Azure SQL, and the third one is like destination, that is Azure SQL. So these 3 services would required. I have already created these 3 services where in Azure SQL, that is our Azure ADLS. ADLS is here, and in container we have kept one JSON file here. Under the source container we have this JSON file. This is the JSON file, and if we click here we can see what data is inside this one. So this is the data in this JSON file, but we want to move it to the Azure SQL. To perform this operation, we need a SQL that I have already created, and we don't have any table here. In ADF we need to create the pipeline. To create the pipeline we have to click on either this plus sign or either this 3 dot, and both will work fine. I mean, same thing is there. So I will change the pipeline name. JSON to Azure SQL. I'm just giving this name, collapsing this window. Again, this is a copy operation, so I will use the copy activity. Our source is in ADLS, so I will create a data set, that is data lake, and our file format is this time not CSV, not TXT, so this time is a JSON file. So we'll select this, click on the continue, and like data set is like ds underscore source JSON, link services new ls source JSON. Auto resolver integration runtime would be used because this is a cloud services, and subscription would be free. Storage account would be SKP ADLS. Test connection. Click on the create. Again, data set has been created, link services has been created. File path we need to provide. Just click on this folder icon. Under the source container we have a JSON file, this one. I will just click here, click OK, click again OK. So if you see here, container and file name is there. Click on the OK. So this red icon would be disappeared. See, now this has been disappeared. Again, on sync side we have to create a SQL. Click on the Azure SQL, this one, continue. Data set is like ds sync underscore SQL. Data set is link services ls sync SQL. This is a cloud services. So again, auto resolver integration runtime. Subscription would be free. Server name would be SKP server. SKP database is the name. Authentication would be SQL authentication. Username is like SKP admin is the username. Password is like whatever password we have initially created, that we need to enter here. Click on the test connection. Connection successful. Click on the create here. Again, as per the table name, we have not created any table. If we have created any table earlier based on the structure of the table, then we can just refer that one in the drop down, but we want to create it manually through auto run, auto create a feature. So I will just click on this enter manually. Enter the table name, like DBO is the default schema, and table name is like product, product. I want to create this table. Again, this table has not created, so I will not select this import schema from connection or store. I will just select a none. If I will select this from connection and store, it will throw an error. So because this table has not created in actual as of now, so just select the none, click OK, and just come to the same, click on this auto create. This is the only feature which will create automatic table, and the table name would be what we have given, like dbo dot product. So we'll come to the mapping part. More in mapping, we will just select the import schema here. If you'll see, this import is not looking correct, but this looks fine. So we'll go here and select the product here. Again, we'll click on the import. Now import has been completed. Now ID is matching with the ID, title, description, price, everything is matching. Only what I need to do, we need to just remove this last 5 column, because we don't want to store this detail here. And this column type is also we need to define. So integer is like here, so I will just enter integer. And string is like string, this one, string, integer, decimal. Okay, keep it double. Value would be in decimal format, so rating would be number. So we have given we keep it decimal double like this as it is. Stock is integer, so we'll select integer 64. Brand is a string, so we'll select string str, and category should be also string. But if you are not sure what column type should be here, for example integer is not matching with integer, you can keep all the string as well, so it will not throw an error. So either two-way, either match with the exact type from source to destination. If you are not enough confident, you can keep string for all this column type. I'm just trying to keep it first as a matching column type. If it will throw an error, we'll change it as a string as of now. Publish all. Okay, I will just show you. We don't have any table here existing with the product. I'm going to run this pipeline. You can click here on the refresh icon and see it is succeed. It means data has been copied, and I need to just refresh this one more time, and then I can see table is there or not. So product table I can see is there. So click, just type here, select start from product, run it, and we can see data has been moved from JSON file to SQL. So in this video we have just seen how to move a data JSON file from ADLS to Azure SQL. We'll cover another topic in the next video. Till then, thank you.